Welcome back, my wisdom walkers. And yes, you read that title correctly. Someone at work called me an effing Susie Sunshine. At work, professional setting, executives there. Let's talk about it. So, if you've watched any of my other videos, you already know that I had moved from Detroit to a smaller community, a smaller city that I can't say you wouldn't expect something like that to happen because I always say wherever there's people, there's chaos. Okay, let's just be real. But I didn't want to do my usual, I'm from Detroit, like giving Detroit a bad name. Okay, it's a beautiful city with beautiful people. And so I didn't want to go to a small town with, I'm from Detroit. But the situation that occurred, first of all, this was so out of the blue that really all of us who were there were shocked. Now, those of you who have watched any of my previous videos, you know that I'm a published author. I've done motivational speaking. I mean, I strive to be inspirational and motivational for not just myself, but for my environment. So that would include coworkers, colleagues, family, friends, neighbors. I mean, you may want to watch the one where I said I assisted a grumpy neighbor and how that turned out. But I don't let any of those negative experiences put a damper on my personality or what my intent is in this life, which is to enjoy my life, but do it in a way that's inspiring and motivational. So at this particular time, we, meaning me and my colleagues, were instructed to get ready to go into a meeting. Now, the room that they wanted us to go to was pretty bare, so it didn't have the chairs. It had a table there, but it didn't have chairs for us to, sit in. So we were instructed to bring our chairs in, set them around the table, and we would commence to have a meeting. Well, at this particular time, you guys already know I'm Princess Prompt, okay? So I'm early at places. And the few people that were there were kind of early birds too. So we were all, taking our chairs in. And then it occurred to me some people are going to be coming in a little later. So why not take extra chairs in so that way they won't, have to disturb by going out, coming back in and bringing the chair in. Really simple, right? Just do an act of kindness for others. Pay it forward. So after I had taken my chair in and the other people who were already there had taken their chairs in, I went out to go get some more chairs. Little did I know this would set someone off, okay? I'm like, you have your chair and I have mine. Now I'm doing something for others. What's the problem? But this lady, she had worked with me for a while. And I get it. Some people do not like happy, upbeat, positive, inspirational people all the time. They're like, I know this lady has to have some problems in her life. She can't always be happy. And I'm like, I am until I'm around you. So as I'm bringing two more chairs in, because you can have a chair under each arm, and the other people are in there, and, they're just sitting. And she yells out, "You're a god effing Susie Sunshine." And at first, honestly, I didn't. I thought she was talking to someone else that was already still in the room. And I looked, and she's looking directly at me. And she said, "The manager told us all to bring our chairs in. Why are you bringing extra chairs for other people? They can bring their own chairs in," which they could, but why should they? So, of course, I was shocked because I'm thinking, okay, do I want to pimp slap this woman? Do I want to curse back at her? Or do I want to be professional and inspirational and motivational? So you guys know the route that I took, the mm, inspirational one. Okay. So I very calmly and in a low voice said, Oh, no, it's no problem. I said I wasn't asking any of you to bring in extra chairs. This is just something that I'm doing. So it has no bearing on or impact on you, but this way when other people come in, the chairs will be here. Now remember I told you the executive manager was there in the room, and of course he's as shocked as the rest of us because he's like, what the hell brought that on? And so he goes, okay, ladies, that's fine. Sherry, you are always we're always grateful for everything you do, and that was a really, thoughtful gesture. And he said, and I appreciate it. And so I won't say this lady's name. We'll just call her. I'm not going to even say Debbie Downer because that's an insult to all the Debbies. Okay, so he asked her and me to meet him in his office because, of course, he wanted to bring that out of the room with the rest of the coworkers and everything. So we got to his office and he already had chairs in his office, so I didn't have to worry about taking any chairs in here. We got into his office and we sat down and he looks at, did I give her a name? I don't even know if I gave her a name, but he looks at her and he says, what was that about? And she said, you guys know that she comes in here every day smiling, doing things for others, making coffee. She didn't have to take extra chairs in there. And we're both still looking at her like, what the hell? And he said, no, I understand that. He said, but she did. And what would that have to do with you? And why are you so upset? And this lady, she goes on, and she's like 25 years older than I was at the time. And I was in my um, mid 30s. So she was, late 50s or so. And she said, I just can't believe that she would always be this happy and upbeat. She's a single mother through divorce. She's, moved to this new city. She has three young daughters. This job is not all of that. What's up with you? What's up with me? Um, I like to create what I want to experience in my life. Since I want to experience no chaos, hence moving from Detroit. Um, Not giving it a bad name. My move from Detroit had more to do with family histrionics than the city itself, okay? But I just looked at her and I said, I can understand how some people would not want to be with a friggin' Susie Sunshine, all the time. I said, but our paths really don't cross that much here. And it doesn't matter to me how you feel about my outlook on life. I said, it's not going to change. And so I said, beyond that, it was very unprofessional in that room for you to shout at me and scream what you screamed. So at this point, and I didn't even look at her, I looked back towards that executive manager. I said, I'm requesting an apology because I'm like, we're not going to go there, okay? This is not going to be the type of colleague relationship I'm going to have. And I was putting him on notice that that doesn't work for me. So he got it right away. And he was like, well, I think that would be appropriate. And then she was like, well, I don't feel like it is. I don't want to apologize. I said, you can apologize here in private, or we can go out there where you made that outburst at, and you would be apologizing in front of everyone. So you already know what route she took, okay? But all of that is to be, I say all of that to say it's up to us to determine how people treat us. Now, I didn't say we can make people like us or make people, you know, want to be around us, but we can demand that they respect us at the same level that we respect them. And I've never in my life yelled at a coworker or cursed them out or did any of that, nor do I ever see myself in a position where that would ever be needed because I believe in communicating in the positive ways. And you guys know I'm already well, most of you guys know that I'm trained in conflict resolution and peer mediation. So there are ways to communicate before we get to those levels. So that's a story I definitely wanted to share. Remember, knowledge is in the knowing, but wisdom is in the doing. And the true learning of a lesson is the application of it. What knowledge, what lesson will you apply in your life moving forward? This is Sherry Brantley. This is Life Lessons Learned. Please leave a comment below about any of your experiences that you may have had in a professional setting with a coworker that just out of the blue went off. I'll see my wisdom walkers on the next video. And for new subscribers or newbies that are visiting my channel, I thank you. I appreciate it. And if you're so inclined, please subscribe. Thanks. I'll see you guys on the next run.